automatic campaigns, even if you keep on running them along with manual campaigns, you've seen a lot of advertisers do that. Automatic campaigns gives you new keywords, while manual campaigns are a lot more in control of you, so that you can change bids and change keywords from time to time, change the ASINs which you want, and let an ongoing automatic campaign get you the new keywords so that you understand what's happening, what are the latest search trends, etc. The next recommendation would be to be specific. Use the keywords which actually are very related to your product, right? So describing the product attribute, like you see in this example, white or wooden or silk, these are the attributes of your product which you should always use in your keyword, because consumer will come and search along with those attributes. If I want to buy, say, men's shoes, I will go ahead and search for men's leather shoes or men's running shoes, like that, right? So whatever health benefits, or if you are selling in health and personal care, so if it's a weight loss tea, you have to add those in your keywords. It becomes more relevant for the customer to figure out what they want to buy if your ads are appearing to the relevant customer. If I've not added those attributes, my ads will just not be so powerful. The third point is to protect your brands. For all brand owners out there, it is a very useful strategy to use your brand name, so that you can, so somebody who's doing a branded search, say I'm searching for Sony headsets, and you have used your keyword as Sony in your campaign, then the ad actually appears to the person who wants to buy a Sony headset. Right, so using your brand name is very powerful. Also, if you want to cross-sell and upsell, using brand keywords is very powerful. Also, you want to target your relevant close competitor brands, you can use those brand keywords in your campaigns. This is again a common question, if we can use other brand keywords. Yes, you can use other brand keywords. You can also target other brands through product targeting, which is outside today's session. We are only discussing keyword targeted campaigns. So any brand you want to target, be it your own or your competitor, or any other brand that you want to target, you can do that by using those branded keywords in your campaign. So the other thing which I mentioned in the beginning of this session is to go organic. The keywords which you have used while listing your product, right? So those keywords are also relevant for you, and you should use them. So next thing that we come to is how to manage or add keywords into your campaigns. So for all new advertisers or new sellers who have not started advertising yet, I quickly want to understand how many of you are very, very new to advertising. This section will help you understand how you actually go about adding keywords in your campaign. Let me just have an idea on how many of you are very new, so that I can explain to you in much more details. Okay, great. So I see 42% of you are fairly new. So probably this section will help you understand how you actually go about adding keywords in your campaigns. So for the 58% of you, in case you are not sure about adding keywords in bulk, we will also take that. Right, so there are 3 ways to add keywords in your campaign. First is when once you're creating the campaign or editing the campaign, you'll see a bunch of suggested keywords. Just before this webinar, I was getting few questions from some of you that if there is any keyword tool, etc. You don't really need a keyword tool. We provide you more than 200 keywords here in the suggested list itself. If your product is very, very new or it's a very different kind of product and you don't see suggested keywords, then I will recommend another strategy which I'm coming to later. So first let's cover the 3 existing ways how you can add keywords. In the suggested, you will see add button, right? So whatever you want to add in match type, that is also suggested here. You can of course change it after you add. You can also enter, the second way is to enter keywords manually by writing one below the other like this. And once you start typing, right, if you see here, there are some suggestions there as well. So once you start typing coffee machine, you will see coffee makers and all of these. These are suggested keywords. You can manually add them by entering them. The third way is to upload a Excel file. For this, you have to download this Excel template which is available here. You can put it in CSV, TSV and XLX format, and you just have to add all the bunch of keywords. Maybe you are using some third-party tool, etc. We all, although we will not be able to recommend any, but yeah, we understand that you might be using an external tool. From that, you have generated some keyword list and you want to upload it at one go. It's a very simple way of uploading keywords in bulk. And one more question which I often face is that if there is any restriction on uploading the number of keywords. There is no restrictions. As many keywords you want to add, you can add. And we recommend that you add 50 to 100 keywords for a full-fledged campaign so that it's the most effective. Now again, we come to negative keywords. Like I had explained a couple of slides back, negative keywords help you restrict your ads to show up to everyone, right? If you don't want everyone to see your ad, if you want only a particular set of people who should see your ad and who should click your ad, you should definitely go ahead and use negative keywords. This you can use in 2 ways, negative phrase and negative exact. What these phrase and exact mean, I have explained earlier. The same meaning here. In these 2 ways, you can add these negative keywords. What it will help you do is, for anybody who searches for these terms which you have added in negative, they will not see your ad. Right, so in this image also you can see how you can add it. You can either search for it and you can add it manually also here. And so the 2 ways is, once you create your campaign or edit your campaign, you can put it there. The other thing is, for ongoing campaigns, you will see a negative keywords tab on your campaign dashboard. From there as well, you can add or delete negative keywords like you see in the image on the right. So now we come to the section where we will talk about what kind of keywords will help your particular business objective. This is a very common question. Should I use branded keywords or generic keywords? Branded will mean Sony headset, and generic or category would mean headsets in general, right? Or Bluetooth headsets. That would be a category term. So let's dive into this section and see what all objectives you have that you want to fulfill through your keywords. So these are basically the objectives that anybody who's selling on Amazon can have. You want to protect your brand and increase loyalty. You want to expand, be it in your category or even outside your category sometimes. You want to conquer with your competitor brands or competitor products. You want to launch a new product or a specific product. You want to cross-sell or upsell. You want to promote using deals or coupons, or you want to test out and experiment with your campaign. So many objectives. Are there which you can have in mind while running your sponsored ad campaigns. So we will discuss how the keywords matter in respect to keywords. What exactly are these going to do for you? So these keywords, like what I explained earlier, a full category like say an electronics category can have a television as a keyword, brand, a generic keyword, or a headset as a generic keyword. So that's what you have to understand in your category. What are the generic keywords or category keywords? Why are we using this? We are using this because the customer has not yet narrowed down on what they want to buy, and they can be still influenced. Somebody who is searching for LED TV, they have not made up their mind on they want to buy LG or MI or what brand of TV they want. They have not made up their mind on. So this is a chance for you to influence them and showcase your brand or product. What benefit it does is the customer can be influenced and your brand awareness increases. For example, you have your red women's kurti. So this means that you will get a lot of more impressions or views for your ads, and it helps you increase your brand awareness. This, like I mentioned earlier, is very helpful in expanding your awareness in your category and even outside your category if you have targeted any related category or subcategory. This is very highly recommended for anybody who's starting off new on platform. So like you can understand what category keywords does for you is it helps you acquire new customers. Somebody who doesn't know what brand to buy, they will actually give your brand a try or give your product a try if you have used category keywords. This is very effective in categories like home, apparel, where people want to see a lot of options and they are not so brand conscious in these categories. So this is very effective for those categories. Like you see in this graph, we have tried to capture new to brand customers versus repeat customers. This is an output of using category keywords. So whoever has used, whichever brand has used category keywords, you can see they have significantly acquired more customers than others who have not, right? So next we've covered category keywords and what does to you, to your campaign. We come to branded keywords now. These keywords actually have a particular brand. It could be your own brand or your competitor brands or a relevant brand. Why should you use it? It is because somebody who has kind of zeroed in on buying a brand, it could be yours or someone else's. You can target them by either influencing that your brand is better than what they were intending to buy, or if you're selling the same brand, then obviously it will have an additional impact on conversion because they already know what brand to buy. So benefit is if you are using your own brand name, it appears to customers who wanted to buy your brand, and you can have an option to cross-sell and upsell. If you are targeting a similar brand, it will give you an option to convert that customer to your brand from the other brand. So like I was mentioning, branded keywords are effective for conversion, cross-sell and upsell. So 3 ways you can target. One is target your direct substitute brands or your competitor brands, which has higher prices than yours. or you can target brands which have lower ratings. So someone who is seeing a product, say of a Sony headset, and they see a Philips headset appearing as an ad, and it is high rated or it is lower priced, they will have a more curiosity to see that product and buy that product, right? So anything which is higher than your price or anything which is lower rated than your product, you should target those brands or products. You can also target your own brand, which gives you a chance to cross-sell and upsell. Again, for someone who's new to these terms, cross-sell means you can showcase a range of your product. Basically, if I'm looking at say a red color silk saree which you're selling, and you're showing an ad of a green color green color saree which I kind of like, so I will actually end up buying your product rather than anyone else's product, right? So that is cross-sell. Upsell would be if I'm looking at a 500 rupee shoes and an ad appears which is a premium shoes and which is also from your brand, and it is 1,000 rupees and I like it, so you have a chance to upsell that particular product. So we will quickly come to some goal backwards strategies here. What each of these keywords helps you achieve. To drive awareness, like I mentioned, high priority would be your category keywords. It helps you drive more and more awareness by reaching out to customers who don't know what brand to buy. Consideration in this phase, category keywords is also important. It is of medium importance. Sorry, it is of medium importance in conversion. Branded keywords have high importance in conversion because people already know what they want to buy. So chance of conversion is higher for branded keywords in conversion state. So we'll talk a little bit about return on investment on your advertising campaigns. So like you see here, the branded keywords give you the most return on your ad spends because people already know what brand they want to buy, and they are searching that brand. So it becomes easier for you to get a quick convert. Category keyword comes in between because people are searching in that category, which means they have reached the second level of filtration. They know what category to buy, but they might not know which brand to buy. So it's a 50-50 kind of a scenario where you can have a good conversion as well as you might not. So it helps you both in awareness and conversion. In competitive keywords, which are again branded keywords for your competitor brands, this gives you the lowest ROAS because somebody who is fixated on buying a particular brand, it is very difficult to change their mind unless your brand or your product is really, really good, right? So for anybody who's just starting off, we would recommend that use branded keywords, use own branded keywords. Little bit of category keywords is something that will give you a lot of awareness. And competitive keywords for new advertisers, you should avoid for some time till you make some ground and have good reviews and ratings, and then you can start using competitive keywords and convert customers from other brands to yours. Now we'll quickly dive into some strategies basis the problems that you face. Let's take some scenarios and discuss further on this. The first scenario we will take is low impressions. If you're not getting impressions on your campaigns, what should you do? And again, if someone is not clear about what impressions means, it means that you're getting very less views on your ads. Your ads are not showing, something like that. You need to add more keywords. That's the first recommendation. You need to use all three match types because you really don't know what is going to work for you. Sometimes you have seen that people use exact match and they don't get so much impressions because maybe they have used the wrong exact match. Customers have a tendency to be very creative when they're searching. So if you have not used phrase or broad, you will lose that opportunity, right? So you should use all three match types when you're getting low impressions. And also advertising is a lot about experimenting with new ways of targeting and understanding which which works best for your business. Again, we have seen a lot of different strategies working for different businesses very well. There's no one-stop solution for all these problems. The third point is increase your bid. We have seen people bidding really low and not getting any views, because your ads will appear based on two criteria. One is the keywords that you have added or the targeting that you have done into the bid that you have put in, right? So even if you increase the bid and you have added all wrong keywords in wrong match types, then also you might not get impressions. The true is, it is also true in the other way, where you have added all the right keywords, done everything right, but you have bid really low, so your ad might not appear, because again, it is an auction based system. Somebody in your category might have bid very high in that particular keyword, so they might be winning the auction more than you, so your ads are not appearing. So you should refer to the suggested bid which will come when you add any keyword, and if you want to go a little aggressive, you can bid on the right of it. If you want to control your ad spend, you have to bid a little lower than that, but it will again reduce your visibility of your ads. The next problem, of course, the review mechanism should be there with you. You should always go ahead and see what your campaign performance is like regularly. So the next scenario we are discussing here is low clicks. What should you do if your ads are visible to people, you're getting impression but no clicks? So what you should do in this situation is you should add specific keywords from your categories. For example, if I'm selling a floor lampshade, I should exactly add that particular thing. If I'm adding, say, lampshades, it might also mean lampshades that you put on the wall, etc. If I'm very specific about what products I'm adding in your campaign and adding those particular generic keywords in my campaigns, which will also speak about the product attributes, that is something that you should use. Choose better converting ASINs, which is also what we always recommend. If you have poor ratings or reviews, not so great comments on your not so great reviews, and the number of rating is really lower than 3, and that ad appears, it is not so attractive for people to go ahead and click on that ad, right? So that is something that you need to be careful when you are choosing your ASINs to advertise. Choose those ASINs which are good selling or your best converting ASINs and start off with them. Gradually, when you improve your ratings and reviews for other ASINs which are not doing so well, then you can put those back in advertising. And also, you should regularly review your search term reports to understand what are the relevant keywords, which is again why I suggested that you run automatic campaigns for some time. See what keywords are working for you. You should add those keywords. What happens if your ad appears to not so relevant keywords is that you will get lesser clicks, because people are not interested to see your ad, maybe because it's not relevant to what they were searching for. Scenario 3 is high costs. This is again a very big problem for most of you. So what we recommend here is again, search term report becomes very important here. You have to regularly analyze it. You have to remove those keywords which are not giving you conversion, not giving you sale, but only clicks. If it is a case where you're only getting clicks in some keywords which are not giving you sale at all, go ahead and add them in negative keyword, which means these are irrelevant keywords. Don't want people to see when they are searching for these. If it is giving you medium kind of conversion, then you can just remove it or keep it with lower bids. You should use the dynamic bidding strategies that we have. We have 3 different types of dynamic bidding. Dynamic bidding down only, dynamic bids up and down, and fixed bids. You should make use of the first 2 dynamic bids. If your ACOS is high, you can select dynamic bids down only, so that you only pay lower than what you have bid if the conversion probability is low. If the chance of you getting a sale from that click is low, Amazon in real time reduces your bid. Again, you have to experiment with your match type a little bit. If your echoes is really going high, then you have to use exact match for some time and see how it goes. And also, negative keywords is something you should definitely add. I have seen a lot of good advertisers also missing out on this part. You can add negative keywords in both automatic and manual. Although in automatic you don't have to add keywords, but negative keywords you still can add. So for all new advertisers, if you're just starting off, do add negative keywords based on the search term. Initially you might not know what should be your ideal negative keywords, and we can't really suggest that from before you actually go ahead and start your campaigns. Once you start your campaign, you will see the keywords populating in your search term report, and you can use them. The worst converting keywords which are giving you clicks but no sale, those can be added as negative keywords. So we have reached the end of this session, and we will open the floor for question answers now. You can post your questions in the questions tab that you see in your panel, and our team will help you with the answers.